When there are mixed signals going out, the person is reading our energy. They're not actually hearing the words that we say. The words that we say are actually a lot less important than the energy that we send out.
Welcome to Big Energy. I'm your host, Kassi Underwood, here to give you a dose of that good energy and talk with people who do it best. Each week, I bring you the knowledge we need to be the forces of nature we came here to be. Today's episode is a very raw look at an in-the-moment issue I was having with my mother. So I was home in Kentucky for a visit, and chaos ensued when some generational differences in parenting, I'll call them that, resulted in my son staying up all night long with me. So you can hear in my voice that I have not slept a wink. I'm sharing exactly how I handled it. It's from a live training. I wish you could see me. I was wearing a fur coat indoors. I don't know why. Lack of sleep, doesn't it just make you so cold? So I'm wearing a fur coat and a t-shirt. A faux fur coat, guys. Chill out. And I'm sharing with you in the moment this drama I'm having with my mother and sharing with you what I know about the energetics of boundaries and the process that I use to deal with the issue of not being heard by other people. So this is exactly what I do when I am saying something to someone over and over again and they're not hearing me. This is the behind the scenes work that I do. At the end, I guide you through a meditation. So I hope you enjoy. I hope this is a transformational experience for you as it was for me.
We are going to get started today talking about boundaries. Boundaries is not my favorite term, actually. I think it has a little implication of victimization in it, but I think it's a really important concept overall. It keeps us out of victimization if used properly. So what I want to do is have you think of a conversation that maybe you've even had before where the person hasn't listened to you. What's happening when we have a conversation, we try to place a boundary or we try to have somebody know that we're not okay with certain behavior and they don't listen to us, is that we're sending out duplicitous signals. We've got mixed signals going out. And when there are mixed signals going out, the person is reading our energy. They're not actually hearing the words that we say. The words that we say are actually a lot less important than the energy that we send out. I'm going to give you an example from my own life. I was up really late last night because I'm at my mom's house and we've had this conversation again and again and again that my son is not allowed to have sugar and he's not allowed to watch TV. When he has those two things, he stays up all night and he doesn't sleep. So it's very simple. When I'm at home with him in my apartment in New York, there's no sugar and there's no TV. And then he goes to bed relatively easily. When he is here, he gets sugar snuck into his diet and there's lots of TV. He is a mess. Yesterday I took a nap and I woke up and he came to see me and he had green icing on his lips. And I was like, oh no. And then, they said, we'll put him to bed. And then the way of doing that was to have him watch TV. And then they were like, oh, we can't get him to bed. And I'm like, no kidding, because he's watching TV, which is stimulating his brain. So he was handed back to me and we were up literally all night. There's obviously negative consequences for my son and for me. But the thing is, and this is what is so tricky, and I'm sure you guys have examples from your own life, is that I've had this conversation for 3 years. Don't feed him sugar and don't let him watch TV. But there must be something in me that still believes that they're going to do it anyway. They're not going to listen to me, or that doesn't really stand fully behind what I'm asking them to do. And so when we have that, they're reading that and they're like, she doesn't really mean it. We can continue to feed him sugar and have him watch TV and there will be no consequences. So what I want you to do right now is think about the conversation that you've had. Maybe you've had it multiple times, but you just haven't really been heard yet. We're going to deprogram yourself on that conversation so that you can now have it again with power behind it and energy behind it, clear, aligned, non-duplicitous energy, so that you can actually have that person hear you so that it lands. It could be a conversation with your partner, a conversation with a family member, with your dry cleaners. If you keep asking at Starbucks for no foam and they keep giving you foam, there's often a belief under there that people just can't hear me. People don't get me. People don't believe me. I want you to really search yourself and ask yourself why you, in all honesty, think that it's not working, why you've had this conversation over and over again and it hasn't landed yet. It hasn't created the desired result. Quite often it's a self-belief. It's a belief about ourselves that first holds us back from telling the truth with energy behind it, with clear energy. So it's usually something about people don't blank me. People don't take me seriously. If we can dissolve these beliefs, you'll be much more likely to have success when you have the conversation. And it's only going to take 20 minutes and it's going to change everything. So the first question is, what is the limiting belief? And then the next question is it true? And the answer is no, it's not true. Whatever your limiting belief is, it's never true. I've got plenty. One is that people don't want to listen to me. People don't get me. That's one of my recurring limiting beliefs from when I was younger. So it'll show up when I get scared. When I get scared, that's where I go, right? So I have to deprogram that over and over. So is it true? No, none of those are actually true. They're stories, they're limiting beliefs. The next question is, what's possible if it's not true? What we do comes from what we think. So if we think people don't take us seriously and don't want to listen to us, we'll act in ways that make people not take us seriously. We'll act in ways that make people not want to listen to us if those are our beliefs. So if we can change the belief, we're going to come to the conversation with words and with vibes that say, listen to me, take me seriously. But we have to deprogram them because they're so deep in there that we'll think that they're actually true. We'll create behavior that makes it confirm to us that it is true. So the way that I've handled this whole feeding my son sugar and letting him watch TV situation, if I'm totally honest, has not been effective because I'm coming in with those beliefs and I'm making the request from those places. Not effective. What's possible is people take me seriously. People respect me as a parent. My mom and I have a great relationship based on nurturing my son. Those are some of the possibilities. People trust I've done my research when I make requests of them having to do with my parenting. And as you're writing what's possible, it should feel good. You should literally feel a shift in how you feel. The next question is, do I now see an unflattering personality trait or behavior pattern that has been creating or reinforcing this false reality? For me, the way that I've been making this request has been angrily and blaming. And then she'll say, I only fed him one cookie. And I say, that's still sugar. That conversation doesn't work. We're not even on the same page, right? If she's thinking one cookie is not sugar, we're not on the same page. But she's going on the defensive because I'm attacking her, right? We're going to come up with the behaviors and the thought patterns that don't work. So the questions you've answered so far is, what's a conversation that you have been having that hasn't landed with somebody, or a request that you've been making that hasn't landed with somebody? What is one limiting belief beneath that conversation? And quite often we have more than one. Then we ask the question, is it true? No, the limiting belief is not true. What's possible if it's not true? And then you write down everything that's possible now that we know that that was just some bullshit that we made up. And then, do I now see an unflattering personality trait or behavior pattern that's been creating a false reality? So what have I been doing based on that belief? Then I'm going to write out the conversation that I'm going to have, and I'm going to create consequences for feeding my son sugar and letting him watch TV. And then I'm going to stand by those consequences. If you're not able to honor this request, here's what's going to happen. And when you make those consequences, you need to be all the way 100% behind it, or it's not going to work. You need to fully believe yourself and be committed to following through on that plan. It's not about punishing them. It's about sharing what the boundary looks like. This is what I'm going to do to take care of myself if this happens again. Will she get mad when you tell her this? Probably. She's going to be mad. But you can just let her be mad. And then gently practice it over and over again. And eventually she's going to get the picture. Or not. But I think that she will. Okay. So let's meditate our problems away. And this meditation is so important because it really does get us into, it gets our energy behind the request. So make sure you've got the request really clearly in the action plan.
If you're a bad bitch who's ready to create a massive shift into abundance and ease around money, I've got good news for you. I officially reopened the doors to my popular program, Money Metaphysics for Maverick Women. It's a 6-month group program where you receive direct guidance from me, live calls, instant access to my 13-module course, Big Money Energy, plus a 2-day in-person retreat and tons of other live support and content. Learn more about the program at kassiunderwood.com/MMMW. Check it all out now and register at kassiunderwood.com/MMMW.
Go ahead and sit up straight and close your eyes. Take a deep breath all the way into your belly and release. And first, we'll say a prayer of gratitude to whoever it is and whatever it is that we pray to for this opportunity to learn how to get our energy behind our requests, to use our voices, and to learn boundaries without feeling like victims. We feel true gratitude for the people who have inspired this change. And let's just see that person, whoever it is that we're working with right now, in our mind and send them love. And now see inside your mind your limiting belief and make a decision right here and now to let that belief go. Whatever it is, it's not true. See the belief and see it vanishing into nothingness, and remind yourself that belief is not true. You made it up. We all made up our limiting beliefs, and now we will give it up. Now remind yourself of what's possible. Mantra those in, close your eyes and repeat it to yourself for a moment. And feel the feelings of what's possible already having happened. It was easy. Now bring to mind the request that you're making and see if you can get all of your energy behind it. So imagine yourself making the request, and it can be gentle when you say it. It doesn't have to be forceful, but feel the energy, your energy lining up behind it. All of your truth lining up behind it. All the reasons why you're making this request lining up behind it. And imagine the energy of all that why pushing the request forward, even as you deliver it very gently. Now bring to mind what you will do if your request is not met. And picture yourself truly following through with what you will do. It's just a cause and effect. Take away any sense of punishment. It's just cause and effect. If this is done, this is what I will do. And see yourself carrying it out without drama and with love. And put intention behind the consequences or the what you will do to bring your relationship with this person closer, to eliminate friction, to create a workaround so that you can have an A+ relationship. Now see in your mind's eye the perfect resolution of the situation. That it was easy, it was natural, and it's already done. Feel the feelings of it's already done. We can end with a prayer of gratitude for this whole learning. All things are lessons that God would have me learn, and come back whenever you're ready. I hope you feel better. I certainly do. I'm going to do a little bit more work on my situation. I like to write things down if I'm going to have a serious conversation. That helps me to line up my energy behind it so that when I deliver it, it comes across lovingly, because otherwise it's going to come across real bitchy. And it already has this morning. If you've ever had this conversation and it hasn't gone well, the first thing that needs to happen is an amends or an apology for mishandling it in the past. So that's what I'm going to start with, is an apology for mishandling it. And then I'll move into the request and why I'm asking for that, and a vision for us to get on the same page in my situation with my son, and having his mental health, his sleep be respected, and of course mine too. I say after very little sleep. Okay, guys, I hope that was helpful. Love you all.
So here's an update a few months after that happened with the sugar and the TV. My mother is hearing me to the best of her ability. She's better than she was before. Have I still seen her when my son is with her and I'm not there feeding him McDonald's or letting him watch her phone? Yeah, but she only gets to see him a few times a year, so it's just not that big of a deal. While I have strong boundaries when I'm with her around the TV and the sugar, when I'm not there, it's really not my business. If she's going to be taking care of him, she can feed him whatever she wants, and he can watch whatever TV he wants. I think that his brain will recover just fine. God is bigger than TV. The universe is bigger than TV. And so we lived happily ever after. That was another episode of Big Energy with me, your host, Kassi Underwood. Were you into it? Go ahead and click the subscribe button and leave a review. You can also find me online at KassiUnderwood.com. See you next time. And remember, Money Metaphysics for Maverick Women, my 6-month program, is open for enrollment. Learn more and register at kassiunderwood.com/MMMW.